Thank you, everybody, and good night. Oh shit, that was good. I answered everything, right? That was cool.
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to make. I know the API. I know when we talk about, especially when I talk about APIs, a lot of people in the like. So I sometimes talk as if I am in Silicon Valley. And I've learned sometimes to gauge myself when I ask a question or if I answer something to make sure that I kind of peel it back as well, because I understand people might not know about geolocation other than like the guy who understands games. Like, yeah, well, we got nervous when it came to using this because we didn't think. I would try it. If it's costing you time and a little bit of money, I would try it because other people might have tried it and it might seem a little invasive, but it works and it creates value. And people might say, you know what, that's awesome. Like, I got a better experience from the app that you created because of whether it might have been an API call or the geolocation. And now we are all used to it. I have built my entire phone, which is my AI, based off of what I believe in. So if you took my phone and swiped through, you understand that Instagram and Facebook are at the back, and everything that I keep productive are in the front. At the bottom is what I click on the most. If a person, now think about that, right? If you suck the data from my phone, and this is maybe just the way that I put it. I don't know if anybody else is built that way. But I don't like, if I know that Instagram's to the back of Facebook, I gotta swipe more. And when you break data down to swipes or clicks or taps, you open up a whole new realm of what you think you can and cannot do. Because it's here. And all the swipes come down to your subconscious. That's all it taps to. Facebook has to make their interface better for people. That's why they have a lot of money. They can do that. And what Facebook does, they'll shoot particular designs over hundreds of thousands of people. And if it doesn't work, they might trash it. There's like 10,000 different looks of Facebook. Ones of these people are swiping too much, too many clicks. Like that's why they changed up. They have the home button at the bottom now. I can go back to my profile. I wanted that. I didn't say anything about it, but I wanted it. And they knew other people wanted it, right? Isn't that pretty interesting? One small thing, like Airbnb, what we talked about. They didn't know that their business came down to taking photos of people's homes. Now you just jump on and say, that home is nice. How did it look so good? That's design. All of that was from data that they pulled. Like, all of those things I find extremely interesting. And I try to make sure that if it comes down to less that you have to think about, those are the winners. Like you talk about the Chinese companies that have like Baidu, Alibaba. You think about Amazon Prime. You can get something in 2 hours. Amazon Go. You don't think that was designed to fit your need, like every human's needs? All of that is That's all neuroscience. Less time, more. I'm like, it takes only an hour. Click it, done. I don't even gotta think about it. Just go here and it shows up. Now they have the kiosk of which you can go to. All of that is by design. So I think a lot of on the surface of these startups that are in Kansas City, I think that the thought process has to get down. Like we can build a company like that, and then once you understand that you can build a company like that, you peel back the things that have already been done and you just copy it. From less clutter to the design process to collecting that data. And there's a suite of other things that I think that they can also tap into other than just Excel. I mean, they can find some people on like Fiverr in order to, whether it's building a website or being able to gather certain data. You do not need a $200,000 data scientist in order to read data that you don't understand, right? So I would say, and that's the same thing we talk about with film. I wouldn't know how to shoot if I didn't do it myself. I wouldn't understand how to collect organic data if I didn't do it myself. I wouldn't know how to ask questions. And it seems like a past life now, but I hosted a podcast last year. Why did I do that? People were like, well, you host a podcast, you're trying to write a book. I did that to ask better questions. And those questions, that better question asking helps me and my clients now. I come there and I say, hey, I want to know about your business. Tell me what your pain points are. And then from that research, I can then go back and say, hey, we can solve it this way. So, yeah. I mean, hopefully I answer. I want to make sure that we answer everything that we need to. And if they have any questions at all, they can come. And it's down. I'm down, man. I mean, you guys are doing some dope stuff, man. I love it. You know.
We need to get it out there.
It's true. No, it's true. Yeah. And I think that, and I know that it will happen. And once you get some, you get the SMEs together, and even like the hidden genius where you're bringing in people, right, of different, this and that. There's no kind of like biases thing that are kind of torn in between. I think it comes down to the thought process, because I've said the same thing in Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley isn't great because, I mean, it's a great place to be at, unbelievable. It's great because you have the gold rush, right? All that good stuff, money. But it's the thought process that people think about. You can be on a train and meet a CEO that just sold 3 companies, and you can be on the BART. And it's just, everything is packed. But the thought process of that anything can be built at any time is what keeps Silicon Valley. As other cities and states start to adopt that process, that's the hardest process. That's why neuromarketing is last. In my slides, I didn't want to hit them with like, oh my God, my brain, cognitive, like, bias, like, subconscious. So I wanted to kind of teach them about that after, because I felt that like it's very important, but it's also scary. And a lot of people don't want to blur that line. They don't want to blur that line yet. Me, I'm tiptoeing on that line. Are we good now? We good? It's 2:03.
Good.
You good? I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Y'all
I appreciate you.
This is nice. I like this. 2019, I know y'all gonna do a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Got some cool shots. There's a whole slew of those. So I can send all these to you.
What? I like this.
So it's all about that contrast.
Ah, man.
It's a focal distance and color contrast. Makes it interesting.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. I love it. Hey, see?
There's more to come. I got you.
Know what I'm talking about? So what you want to do? You want to create a doc?
Yeah, we'll make a folder.
You want to do? I have
Google folder.
Don't send it. I'll send you my cell phone number.
Okay.
But when it comes down to like those photos to preserve. See what I mean? To preserve, that's great. To preserve the contrast, I want to make sure I get it on my iPhone.
Absolutely.
So let's do
full resolution. Send me however you want me to. Send me a link, whatever I can dump it into.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. Let me send it to you. Maybe I'm thinking about.
Oh, yeah, that's a great shot.
I'm saying, you know what I mean?
There's a bunch.
That's a money shot right there. I like that shot.
Come on, do it. You saw Joel's new photo, whatever. Yeah.
Man, that's a great shot right there, man.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to create an album.
So these are all raw, just on post-process.
Okay.
If you want later on, I can also adjust the depth of field. So I can adjust how much it's out of focus in the back.
That's awesome. I like that. If you want to play around with it, play around with it, send me some stuff. But what I'm going to do is, you want to create a Google photo.
Yeah, photo album,
so
Google photo album.
So you select the photos and then just share it.
Okay.
You have to share it with my cell phone. Let me give you
whatever your Google account is.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'll just put it in a note. Or whatever.
I gotcha. Keep notes. Search your note.
And I'll just give you it all. You already have my Instagram and stuff. So
yeah, right?
So I'll give you my phone number. So that's my phone number, and then.
This is still recording. This is real behind the scenes right here.
This is
really behind.
Right this is the bloopers, right? This is the best. This is when you get the B-roll. This is when everything goes.
There you go.
All right, we good, right? Oh my gosh.